Once, there was a young boy named Jack who lived in a small village at the foot of a big mountain. The mountain was tall, steep, and covered with trees and rocks. People in the village said that no one could ever climb it to the top because it was too difficult. They told stories of how others had tried but failed. Jack had always dreamed of reaching the top of the mountain. From his childhood, he would look up at the peak, covered in mist, think,
"One day I will stand on top of that mountain."
But people in the village laughed at him.
"Why do you want to climb that mountain? It is impossible,"
they said.
"It's too hard. You will just waste your time."
But Jack didn't listen to them. He knew that the greatest achievements often came from doing things that seemed impossible. One morning, when Jack was 16, he decided to try. He packed a small bag with food and water, put on his old shoes, and started his journey up the mountain. At first, it was easy. The path was wide, and the sun was shining. But as he walked higher, the path became narrow and steep. The air grew colder, and the trees became thicker. It was harder to walk and Jack felt tired. He slipped a few times. At one point, he almost gave up.
"I can't do this,"
Jack thought.
"It's too hard. Maybe everyone was right."
But then, he remembered something his father had told him.
No one ever reached their dreams by giving up too soon. You must keep going even when it seems impossible.
Jack decided to take a break, eat some food, and rest. He looked around at the beautiful view of the village below. He thought about his dream of standing at the top of the mountain and how proud he would feel. That gave him the strength to continue. As he climbed higher, he faced more challenges. He had to climb over big rocks, and sometimes, the path was so steep that he needed to hold onto trees and roots to keep from falling. But with each step, he grew stronger. He learned how to move carefully, how to be patient, and how to keep going even when it was difficult. One night, as he was climbing, a strong wind blew through the trees, making the branches shake. The wind was so strong that it almost knocked him off balance. Jack was scared. He thought about turning back. But he remembered the dream and his father's words.
"I've come this far. I'm not going to stop,"
Jack told himself. So he kept climbing. The next morning, after many days of hard work, Jack finally reached the top of the mountain. He stood there, looking out at the entire village below. It was more beautiful than he had ever imagined. The air was fresh, and the sky seemed endless. He had done it. He had climbed the impossible mountain. The people in the village heard about his achievement. They came to see him and asked,
"How did you do it? How did you climb the mountain when everyone else said it couldn't be done?"
Jack smiled and said,
"It wasn't easy. It took a lot of patience, hard work, and never giving up. When you face something difficult, you have to remember that it's not about how many times you fall. It's about getting back up and continuing your journey."
From that day, people in the village started to believe in themselves more. They began to try things they had once thought impossible. Jack's story became a reminder that no matter how big the mountain, if you work hard and never give up, you can reach the top.
End of the story. Thank you for watching.